Welcome back to Vchannel. Today we have some very interesting information, and it's a surprise that VinFast has suddenly released official information about the cars that we've looked at before. I have to clips. It's a smaller car than VF3, cheaper than VF3, and a 7-seater to compete with. Small size MPV service segment, that's Minio Green and Limo Green. And it was a surprise. On VinFast homepage today, we get that information. VinFast will launch up to 4 products for segments always. That is Mini Car Minio Green, a SUV Hario Green, CSUV Nario Green, and MPV Limo Green. This is the first low-cost small MPV model, specialized service with 3-row seats, 7 seats, to compete with competitors such as Toyota Avanza, Veloz, and Nova. The Suzuki XL7 is taking over the low-cost small MPV segment, specialized by family. The service, first of all Minio Green, we'll have information to compare with VF3. Length will be shorter than VF3. 3.090 millimeters versus 3.190 millimeters. It will also be 1,496 narrower than, with 1,679 millimeters, and height 1.6 to 5 higher than VF3. 3 millimeters, that's a 1625 instead of a 1622. The wheelbase we're going to have is 2065, a lot shorter than the 2513 wheelbase of VF3 is therefore the interval, cabinet space inside, and especially the back seat space. Compared to the front row, it's going to be pretty short, previous guys. Rumors were, this is a 2-seat mini car, but we've got official information. There are 4 seats, guys. And outside of 7, we'll have something like this. This light is very similar to the Kia Morning. It's still the V-Wing. Brand recognition here is very likely. Plastic paint color aluminum. It's not aluminum, probably using a halogen light. It is the same as VF3. It's clad in plastic. It looks relatively good. We only have that size. The size of the wheels is not there. We'll have a stylized section down here. It can be ventilated, and it can stay inside. Previously, on the intellectual property we'll have images like that. Yes, but currently there is. A lot of things are not the same, especially the light. The lights are on. Register for intellectual property. We're going to have a flat light like this. We'll have a light round like this, and the front is pretty much the same. It's just a ledge like this. There's no stylized part like this. The bottom is quite higher, and it has stylized patterns like this. Next is the door. Then we'll see the extra glass on the door. But here we have the extra glass. It's long out the back. Help the person in the back, brother. Instead of being tiny on the front door like this, the rest is the same as the stamping on this door. That it's going to go sideways, it's not going to go up like this. The rest is pretty similar. The rearview mirror is also placed directly on the cylinder. I don't like this point very much because it increases the blind spot of the car. We also have fish fin antennas. And here's the view behind you. From the back view, it's too different. It doesn't have a design like this anymore. This design is almost like AVF3. But now, we're going to have a lamp that looks like there is also AV. Brand identity. Here, it's going to be extended through the cut into this lamp. And here's the underside. This glass is wide. The bottom is always black. It looks pretty cool compared to this one. But it depends on your aesthetic point of view. From my personal point of view, I don't think it's very beautiful. It comes down like this. It doesn't seem to be very eye-catching. We're going to have reflections down here that will be plastic. This car will also not have a rear windshield as on the VF3. To save cost. This is also a weakness. When it rains, you can't see anything in the back. On this picture. So we see that this glass is quite narrow compared to the registration information. On the Minio Green intellectual property, we'll have 20 kilowatts of capacity. It's going to be a lot lower than VF3. Is 32 kilowatts, guys. Minio Green's range is 180 kilometers instead of 210 kilometers. This battery is also smaller. This engine is also 20 kilowatts weaker compared to 32 kilowatts. Much weaker, brothers. So this car is really urban. It's a bit surprising because equipped with up to 2 rows of seats instead of previous information, just 1 row of chairs. This car will be very cheap. Support 12 kilowatt DC fast charging, and the maximum slow charge is 3.3 kilowatts. I promise this is a cheap car. Can be replaced for motorcycle. VF3 is already very cheap, but Minion, it's getting cheaper. I promise the price will be around 150 to 180 million. And next we'll have Hario Green and Nario Green, with this shape that we find very familiar. So these are the cars that have been modified from VF5 and E34. The Persian we see looks extremely similar to VF5. From the tray design hall, this tray design is a little stylized. For little spikes here, The lower part is. It's going to be slightly white and silver like this replaces black. The back door is very similar. The V-light is the same. The headlight is also same. It's always the same. VF5 over 90%. Here's the top view. Here's the back view. It's very much like brothers. From the backlight, From this lamp, this wing, and even the tinted lights, the black part below why same. And this is also a 5-seater, suitable for the small family basic services segment. And we have a distance of 326 kilometers. Charging time 10 to 80%, only 33 minutes. It's also a little bit higher than VF5. It's about 300 kilometers per year. This is a modified VF5. Next we'll have Narrow Green. This is a very similar E34. We'll have a wheelbase of 2,611 millimeters. That's the size of the Persian Brothers. Overall length is 4.3 meters. It's about the size of a Persian. And the distance is also 318 kilometers. So we see that this is really E34. We'll compare the appearance of the E34. The light in front of us looks same. There's nothing else. It's always black. The rearview channel is located on a pole. There are also chongs. This splint is the same. Nothing else, both in size and from the top down. This is the back view of the Narrow Green. I can hardly find the difference. This part is a little different. It's painted black instead of silver paint. Like this. The rest of the lights are the same design. All same, even the side design. As I see it, this is E30 for renamed. I haven't found anything different yet. And finally, Limo Green 7 seats. It's a special segment, favor in the Vietnamese market, even the family. Service that Innova Velo's expander is king now. It's taken a huge market share. Let's compare this with an expander of 4.475. So, we're going to have a significantly longer limo green. And it's also wider. 1.870 instead of 1.750. Height then, it will be less than 10 millimeters is 1,600. Instead of 1,700, the wheelbase of the expander is 2,000. We're going to have 2,840 wheelbase. It's going to decide what the space is inside the knee of the person sitting behind. Compared to the front seat, it's going to be a lot more spacious. Compared to expander, we will compare with our competitors. Velos, there's a significantly longer one here. Only 4,475. Velos is 1.750 wide instead of here will be 1.87 It's always wide. Very comfortable. The height is 1,700. Below, we'll have 1,690. We will now compare with. The Innova will have a length of 4,735. We'll have 4,730. Has approximated Innova than width. It's 1,870 wider than the Innova, which is always much wider. The height is 1,690 versus 1,795. So we see this car. It's lower. It's wider. And the length is approximately the same as the Innova. The wheelbase of the Innova is 2,750. Here we have 2,840. Therefore, Limo Green sure will have some space. It's more comfortable. It's been longer, guys. So, Limo Green hit directly into the Innova of the MPV 7 seats. And here we're going to use the LFP battery, with a travel distance of up to 470 kilometers. This journey is quite big, guys. It may be suitable to that do service go to the province. Wake up to previous information. Then we'll be like this. This part, in fact, it's softer, not as harsh. Registration and this information. The style is quite similar to the previous registration. There's more stylistic on the side. And this part of the lamp is folded. There's a fold here. It's not like this. This stamping part is quite soft. The glass is mounted on a pole, brothers. It's a bit unfortunate at this point. I prefer the glass on the door. It'll reduce the blind spot, but the very likely official version is it will be mounted on the pole. We're going to have glasses like this. It's much broader than previous information. This design is quite similar to the Innova. We're going to have an extra pair of glasses for people sitting in chairs. Finally be more open. Instead of it being sealed like this. Come here, it's dead, it's not stroking out the back. The design of the next generation of cars. It looks quite tall and spacious. And this is the design of the tray. It's not the same as the Gazette design. It depends on your aesthetic point of view. I think this design is a bit confusing. So, we have the top and the back. On the back, you can see it's been redesigned. The lamp is quite similar to VF9 Brothers. What about the bottom part is designed and softer compared to the registration board. The lower part, if you stick it up like this, it's designed to be soft. Part of our trunk will be clawed like this. Back glass is quite similar to the spacious, not slender. Small is like this. Generally, it is same SME VF9 apart, especially this lamp. Current limo. We only have the basic picture. There is no deeper information. The company also announced on 2025. We will introduce more products in the MPV segment. 7 seats for private customers, not the service customer. Specialized in transportation business such as Limori. Vchannel will continue to the following information. I'm sure we will have a review. Super details about these car models. Remember to subscribe to your YouTube channel. Watch the news of technology as well as the next technology product reviews. Goodbye, and see you later.